Good morning, class from grade 9. I am your teacher, Juana Rose M. Ramos. You can call me Miss Ramos. How are you today? If your answer is you're fine or you're doing well, that's great to hear. So today, we were going to learn something exciting and very useful in English. So, in the previous lesson or discussion, Miss Munaske have discussed to you the types of conditionals. I am right? Okay, so if your answer is yes, so probably you've remembered some of it. So the conditionals have 4 types. So Miss Munaske have discussed to you the 2 types of conditionals. So what are those 2 types? Very good. So the 2 types that Miss Munaske have discussed to you last week is the 0 and the first conditionals. Okay, so you have a long-term memories because you remember some of the types of conditionals. So today, I will ask you, have you ever imagined winning the lottery? So have you ever imagined that you won a lottery? Have you? If it's a yes, then this is what we are talking about. Or maybe regretted not studying for a quiz. So I know some of you regretted after you saw your score because you didn't study before the quiz or the exam, right? You have the free will to study but you didn't. Instead, you scroll in social media, perhaps a TikTok, Facebook, and then you forgot to take a book for you to study. So those sentences or those phrases or sentences that I talk about is the kinds of situations that what we called conditionals. Specifically, so the 0 and the first are now discussed or have done discussed by Miss Munaske. So right now, we will focus on the 2nd and the 3rd conditional. So by the end of the lesson, so you will be able to tell the difference between them and even use them in your own sentences. So are you ready? Okay, so before that, these are the objectives. You see, so from what I have from what I have told to you earlier, this is the objectives. So you will be able to differentiate between the 2nd and the 3rd conditionals in form and usage, and then classify sentences correctly as the 2nd or 3rd conditionals through an engaging activity and construct their own examples applying both conditionals in real life or imagined situations. The subject matter. Then, before we delve into our discussion, let's do a prayer. So I will lead the prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for giving us a brand new day. Bless our minds, as we learn and our hearts as we work together. Guide our teachers, classmates, and everyone around us to be kind, patient, and understanding. May everything we do today bring honor to you. In Jesus' name, amen. So, I have this classroom rules. You know what are rules, right? These are the rules that you must follow inside the classroom. My rules are really simple. This is very simple because you've been practicing this since your kindergarten. So my classroom rules are sit properly. So of course, you will sit properly for you to have a comfortable position. And then maintain cleanliness. I don't want to see students who are untidy of their chairs. So if you saw a paper or any kinds of trash, you will pick it and throw it in the plastic bag. If you don't have any trash can, just put it in your bag. Am I understood? Okay. Third is do not interrupt. Of course, if someone is talking just like me here, do not interrupt. Okay? Just interrupt me if I am done talking so you can ask me questions after my discussion. And then I have abbreviation here of hope. So hope must be followed. So what is hope? So H is for help and respect others. So if someone is confused about this sentence, is confused about this project, then help them. Right? Kindness is everywhere. Okay? And then respect others. So you will respect their opinions, their perspectives about it because we have different mindset. O is own your learning. Of course, you will need to have yourself study. Not every teacher will spoon feed you. So you will have a self-study. P is to participate and cooperate. So of course, if there is a group discussion, you will participate. Okay? Then cooperate with your group mates. Probably you have a unique idea so that it can help them to have a better brainstorming. Lastly is E. So encourage and empower. Instead of laughing to that one student who is mistakenly pronounce a words, do not laugh. Instead, you will encourage him or her to do better next time. Am I understood? Okay, if you understood this, let's have our activity. So, what is this activity all about? Are you excited to know what is our activity today? I know you are very excited because you want an activity that can engage to your classmates, and it's really better to help you memorize some things and to have a better memory of your high school lives. I know that. So here is my activity. So our activity for today is called What If Game. What if game? So what is this called? What if game? So as what I've talked earlier, these conditionals are just imagining things that didn't happen in the present or in the future, or maybe in the past. So what if? Let's see the questions. Okay, here are the questions. The questions of our what if game. I will call students who will participate in this game. Okay? So I have list of names here in your attendance sheet. So okay. Mr. Sinining, so this is your question. What if you won the lottery? So you will imagine, what if you won the lottery, and then give me an answer. What is your answer if you won the lottery? What will you do after you're winning the lottery? Great, thank you for answering, Mr. Sinining. You will buy a house or travel around the world. That's great. I also want to do that. Then the second person who will answer the what if question. Okay, Miss Kahayag. Okay, where is Miss Kahayag? Oh, yes, Miss Kahayag, your question is, what if you had studied harder for the test? So what if you had studied harder for the test? What is your answer? Okay, so your answer is you will have a great score, probably the highest score among your classmates. Excellent, that's a great answer. Then the third question, who will be answering this third question? Okay, Miss Batukan, your question is, what if you had joined the contest? So what if you had joined the contest? What is the consequences or the what is this called? The prize that you will get if you won this contest. Oh, if you join the contest. Oh, so I know your answer is if you had joined the contest, your parents will be proud of you. Okay, great. Fourth is, what if you were rich? Okay, Miss Langido. So what if you were rich? What will you do? Just like Mr. Sinining answer, you will travel around the world. If you were traveling around the world, what is the country? Give me a specific country. Oh, Hong Kong or Paris. Yeah, Paris, the Eiffel Tower, it's really good in there, especially at night. Thank you, Miss Langido. Lastly is, what if you had woken up earlier? Okay, Mr. Kabatingan, this is your question. So what if you had woken up earlier? Oh. Yes, if you have woken up earlier, you will not be late in attending school, right? Or miss the bus. Thank you. Give yourself a round of applause. Those answers and questions is what we called the second and the third conditionals. So right now, let's find out how they work. These are the answers. So the first question is the second conditional, then third conditional, second conditional, lastly is the third conditional. So these are the answers. Okay, so let's have our discussion. The second conditional. So please read the sentence of the second conditional. Thank you. So, if she studied harder, she would pass through exam. Then another sentence is, if I were you, I would apologize immediately. Can you please read the third conditional? Okay, thank you for reading. The sentence here is, if he had told the truth, people would have trusted him. Next is, if she had left earlier, she would have caught the bus. So let's find out how they work. So this sentence here above, the second conditional, what I mean is below the second conditional, is if she had studied harder. So now let's analyze the sentences together. So what I have said, below of the second conditionals are the sentences of it. So my question is, what verb tense is used in the if clause of the second conditional? Do you know what is the if clause? The if clause is the first phrase of the sentence. Okay, you've understood. So your answer is, if she studied harder. That is our if clause. So it use what verb tense? From the word studied. Right, past simple. So the if clause of the second conditional, it uses the past simple verb tense. That's great. So what verb tense is used in the main clause of the second conditional? So we have our if clause. So today, right now, you will identify the main clause. So what is the verb tense used in the main clause of the second conditional? Okay, so it uses would plus the base verb. You know what is base verb? The base verb is what we saw in the dictionary. So would plus the past. Past is the base verb. Okay. So what time does the second conditional refer to? So what time? If it's a future, present, or in the past? Okay, so it's in the past because it's in the present. Yes, it's in the present or in the future unreal situations because it's it things in the future situations, just like this. If she studied harder, she would pass through exam. This is the future. So what will be granted if she studied harder? Okay, right now is the third conditional. So the third conditional, let's see the sentence. Let's just use the first sentence. If he had told the truth, people would have trusted him. Okay, let's analyze. Where is the verb tense used? What is the verb tense used in the if clause of the third conditional? Just like the second conditional, you just have to know the verb tense and find the verb tense. Right, so the verb tense used here in the if clause of the third conditional is past perfect. Okay, so past perfect. And then, what verb tense is used in the main clause of the third conditional? What verb tense is used? Okay, so would have plus the past participle. So the would have plus the past participle traveled. That is the past participle. So what time does the third conditional refer to? Because the sentence here is if he had told the truth, people would have trusted him. So it's giving regrets, or he regrets not telling the truth. Right? So it uses past, okay, past unreal situations or regrets, probably hindsight. Okay. These are the questions. So these are the rules in the second and the third conditional. So the rules in the second conditional is if plus past simple, then would plus the base verb, and then the time is the present, could be future and real situations. So you might be forget what is the past simple. I will give you some few recall about what is a past simple. So the past simple, it describes an action that happened and finished in the past. So past, because it is happened in the past. Then the base verb. So when we say base verb, is the original or the simplest form that we see in the dictionary. For example, walk, eat, or study. That is the past simple and the base verb. Let's down to the third conditional. The rules here in the third conditionals is if plus past perfect, then would have plus the past participle. So it uses, so the time used in the third conditional is the past or unreal situations that happen in the past. Okay? Right. So what is a past perfect? You might be wondering because you might forget what is the past perfect. The past perfect is also describes an action that was completed before another action in the past, right? For example of it is I had eaten, no, I had eaten breakfast before I went to school. That is the past perfect because you've eaten breakfast. That is another action before you went to school. It's also another action. Okay. So today we will have an our abstraction. So what is the second conditional? What is the second conditional? Can you please read? Yes, second conditional is used for unreal or hypothetical situations in the present or future. When we say hypothetical, it's maybe true or not, or maybe just a fragment of your imagination. Third conditional. Please read, everyone. Yes, used for unreal or hypothetical situations in the past. So just like the second conditional, it uses hypothetical situation. So let's now apply our understanding to our discussion for today. So I have here an activity. So this activity is called basket game. So what will you do in this basket game? In this basket game, you will just put the sentences in the basket if it's whether it is second conditional or a third conditional. Because some examples of the sentences are second conditionals and some are examples of third conditionals. So one by one, or any participants can answer this. So you will just pick a sentences, read it aloud, and decide which baskets it belongs to. Are you ready? If you are ready, let's begin. So here is our basket game. So you will put there the second conditional or in the third conditional the sentences that you pick. Okay? Okay. Here are the sentences. I will give you 2 minutes to decide which sentences you will pick and put it in the basket. I know you're wondering. If you have any questions, just ask me directly. At exactly what time right now? At exactly no You have 1 minute left. The time is running out, so better hurry. Have said that you are eager to know because you are participating in this activity. Okay, some gets the correct, some gets the correct sentences that put it inside the basket. Okay. 2 minutes. Okay, so the time is now stop. So let's see. Here are the correct answers. In the second conditional, if I were you, I would apologize. If we won the championship, we would celebrate all night. These are the sentences that belongs to the second conditional. Right? You see the pattern? What is the pattern or the rules of the second conditional? Again, the rule is if plus past simple, then would plus the base verb, right? Okay, that's good. Okay, so these are the third conditional sentences. So if they had trained harder, they would have won the game. Then if she had joined us, we would have enjoyed the trip more. So these are the sample or the example sentences of the third conditional. So what is the rule of the third conditional? If plus had plus the past participle, then the would have plus the past participle. Okay, so today you've gained an understanding about our discussion. I am glad that you learned effectively. Okay. Then we will have our another activity. So this activity is called fill in the blank. So fill in the blank, this is very simple, as we just put the right word of this inside the clause or inside the parentheses. Okay. So I will give you 3 minutes to answer this. To answer this activity. Oh, you have a question. Yes, I forgot to tell you the instruction. So you will write your answer in a 1/2 crosswise. Oh yes, of course. Please write your please do not scribble anything in your paper. Oh yes. That's good. You have, give you 3 minutes. So better hurry so you have the time that you can, that you can reread your answer. Done answering? Okay. Who are done answering, please raise your button. Okay, so there's some who hasn't done answering. Those done answering, please quiet so those people who aren't done can concentrate. Okay, so the 3 minutes is now stopped. Then, please exchange your papers to your seatmate. I know that there are no cheating, okay? Am I understood? Okay. So, these are the answers. These are the answers. Number 1, you just check it. And every answer that are correct has 2 points. So put it 2 points in the paper. Done checking. And don't forget to write corrected by. Okay, if you're done checking, please pass it in front and give it to me, because I will record your correct answers or your score. So let's have our evaluation. So read each sentence carefully. Identify whether it is a second conditional. So you know what is second conditional, right? It is a present, future, unreal, or hypothetical situation. Or a third conditional. This past, unreal, or hypothetical situation. Then you will explain why you classified it as such. So I have example here below. Number 1, if it snowed tomorrow, we would go skiing. So what is this conditional type? The conditional type is the second conditional. And then you will put the reason. Okay, why is it second conditional? So the reason here, this talks about unreal or imaginary situation in the future. So it will be happen in the future. It may or may not snow tomorrow. So that is your reason. So the structure is the structure or rule of the second conditional. Don't forget the if plus past simple, then would plus the base verb. Am I clear, students? Okay. So these are your questions. I will give you 3 minutes to answer this. Analyze the situation. Okay. You can do it. Concentrate. If you have notes, if you are note taking, you can flip your you can flip the pages that you'll be write your notes.
Because even superheroes gotta start somewhere, preferably on the ground. Join the adventure in brand new episodes of Talking Tom Heroes, Suddenly Super. Today, 12 p.m. on Conditional. Hello, everybody. Let's get a band. Dance. Barney says.
The time is running out.
Barney says.
Better hurry.
Barney says, clap your hands. Now do a free dance. That was amazing.
Okay, that's good.
Barney's World. New episode today, 10:30 a.m. on Conditional.
Okay, so these are the answers. Kindly please check. So we have our scoring rubric. Then the assignment. So your assignment is write a short paragraph, just a 3 to 5 sentences, using the second conditional to imagine the unreal or hypothetical situation in the present or future. Example, if I were a famous singer, I would travel around the world. Then, write another short paragraph, just like the first sentence, just using third conditional to reflect on past situations that could have been different. Example, if I had studied harder last week, I would have passed the quiz with a higher score. Lastly is be creative and connect your answer to your own life, dreams, or experience. So the minimum of this is 3 sentences each, showing the correct structure. So that is all, and that is all. Great job today, class. You've done well. Thank you, and see you next class.